But first we go across to Upton Park, where the team's already on the field for the First Division game between West Ham and Arsenal. West Ham wanting to recover from that League Cup defeat at home against Spurs in midweek. Arsenal wanting to build on that victory against Manchester United. Let's check on the two teams. West Ham without Billy Bonds and Trevor Brooking. Now with Keith Coleman filling the number 4 spot, Billy Jennings getting the number 10 shirt. Coleman will be playing at the back, McDowell will be playing in midfield. As for Arsenal, they're unchanged, and the man looking for celebration here is the West Ham number 7, Alan Taylor. It's a year to the week since he came from Rochdale, and what a year. For Arsenal, there's young Irish striker Frank Stapleton, who looked so good last week. The referee is Gordon Kew of Amersham, and now the crowd is waiting for the start.
So Arsenal kick off, attacking the goal to our right, as indeed they did last week when they scored inside 13 seconds against Manchester United. Something that they're going to find very difficult to beat this afternoon. They're in the yellow strip with the blue shorts. West Ham in their customary claret and blue with white shorts. Irving Day for West Ham. Rice. Leary winning that above Jennings and sending Alan Ball on his way. A flick through there towards Stapleton, and some very good covering indeed by Keith Coleman. Good play by Coleman. No Bonds or Brooking in the side, but the strength of the club was very much in its reserves, and Coleman did a really excellent job there. Taylor. Keith Robson, delicate header there for Padden. Robson. Minutes gone. This will be the 4th corner at least for West Ham. Padden with it. Another outswinger with that left foot, curling out towards the penalty spot. Tommy Taylor couldn't get a header to it. Jennings couldn't get his foot to it. Now McDowell, left foot. Oh, and what a save there by Jimmy Rimmer. Well, a couple of them tried to get their heads to it and couldn't, and it fell then quite invitingly to the feet of John McDowell. Hit it well, and Rimmer was able to parry it, and finally it was clear. Patiently for the ball, Rice behind him. Brian Kidd's backward header. Holland. Misunderstanding there between Robson and Taylor. Nelson. Ball. Story. Rice. Robson to Taylor. Now Brady. Stapleton trying to play the short ball again to Kidd. At the moment the pair of them not really hitting it off so far this afternoon, but here's Alan Ball. Now it's hit again short, and short again, and this time it might come off as Kidd gets it onto the left foot and causes Mervyn Day to make a very good save indeed. The real quality there was the interpassing between Frank Stapleton and Brian Kidd that eventually left the ball on the left foot of Brian Kidd. A powerful shot, and Day in the way to save the goal. So a corner for Arsenal. Got a good record here. In fact, they've lost only one of their last 9 appearances here in the league, and that was last season when they lost 1-0 to the Graham Padden goal. Here comes the corner. Dowell's header. Story trying to turn it back again, and Kidd might get in there with a header. No, disallowed. Disallowed. An offside and no goal. But up well, put it past Day, but it doesn't count. Robson's header back for Lambert. Now can Taylor get there first? But first of all, it was meant for Billy Jennings. I think Arsenal did as well until Taylor sprang onto the scene. He'll be all right. Haddon's throw to Keith Robson. Turn that back, but over. Not a bad season for Keith Robson, 5 goals so far. A little bit of injury trouble as well. In fact, West Ham manager John Lyle was telling me he's not, since the start of the season, been able to field a fully representative side without injury niggling somewhere along the line. There's the skipper, doing a skipper's job again, Alan Ball. Another free kick to West Ham. Not taken from exactly the right spot, but near enough, and obviously the spirit of the game, so Gordon Q saw, was that West Ham should reap some advantage from it, so he allowed it to be taken. Good to see. Robson. West Ham's throw. Kevin Locke to Keith Robson. Locke again. Hit in first time and hit in well. Billy Jennings right in there. Taylor there! Goal given! No, offside. Is it offside? No, it's a goal. Well, Pat Rice having a word with the linesman and the referee ordering him away. Alan Taylor, the scorer. The goal given, I'm bound to say, to me, he looks suspiciously offside. And it's something we'll have to look at much more closely as the ball came in, nodded down by Billy Jennings, and he'd already made his move then at Taylor and whacked it past River. West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. Well, that's the lead West Ham wanted. There was a controversy over it. Certainly Taylor did look that little bit offside, but here he goes now, showing all that pace and causing O'Leary to give away the corner. So Padden will take it. Tommy Taylor is up. And Rivers catch. Ball. Getting a little bit involved there. He's obviously upset by that decision that allowed that goal. Got that tight-lipped look that he has so often when things are going badly. And here he is again, Alan Ball. He'll fight his way out of that situation, I'm sure. Offside this time. Keith Robson, Alan Taylor, good ball again. Word he's playing some balls, this Alan Taylor. Oh, and that was nearly a superb goal by Robson. Lovely ball played by Alan Taylor. Padden pouncing and hitting the early ball in low, and Robson made enormous ground to get there with a diving header that went wide. Well, not sure what that was supposed to be, but the referee, I think, construed that it was 6 of one, half dozen the other. Dowd obviously felt a little more aggrieved than that. In fact, the referee's going to have a word with Sammy Nelson. Taylor over his own head. Leary and a throw to West Ham. Dow, good throw. Robson, good backward header. Jennings trying to climb for it. Oh, and a good save there. And a very good one indeed by Rimmer from Billy Jennings. Jennings hit that one well. Rimmer couldn't have seen it to the very last. but still managed to get in the way again. Padden doing a tremendous amount of work, Graham Padden, in the middle of the field for West Ham this afternoon. Finding Taylor. Good cross again by him towards Jennings, and it'll come for Robson. It still might come for Robson. Oh! And in the end, Nelson content to put it behind. Another of the qualities of Alan Taylor. He does seem to become now such a good crosser of the ball. Several times this afternoon, and that was another case in point. It fell to Robson, and in the end, Robson could make nothing of it. So Padden now trying his luck on that side of the field with a corner. Played short to Alan Taylor. Armstrong. Kidd, fouling, Story. Come to Stapleton, cut out by Locke. Stapleton again. Now Armstrong. Nelson coming in hard. Oh, some trouble going on there off the ball between Kidd and Coleman, and the linesman being called in, I think, by referee Q to have a word as to what was going on there. I confess I didn't see all of that. It was off the ball. Linesman's given his version, and now Kidd and Coleman get the referee's verdict, which is a sharp talking to and no more. Crowd don't feel happy about that. They felt that action should have been taken of some sort. And there goes the whistle for half-time. A gutsy first half, good local derby stuff, and a lot of skillful stuff as well. West Ham having the better of the game and getting the one goal that mattered, controversial though it was. Arsenal claiming that it was offside, scored by Alan Taylor, the number 7. Arsenal having had a goal disallowed for offside by Brian Kidd. A lot more to come on the big match this afternoon. A half-time score here at Upton Park. West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. We'll be right back with you with the second half. Welcome back to Upton Park. West Ham now attacking the goal to our right. That one goal up, scored by Alan Taylor. Arsenal with a not very impressive away record. In fact, they've only won once away in the league since last December. That's 11 months. And that was at Sheffield United earlier this season. Well, there, this goal down. And here's Kidd. Story. Well, it might come for Story again. Now Tommy Taylor, and it might come for Story again, but here's Holland. Jennings tried a little touch there for Holland again, but it fell for Sammy Nelson and now for Alan Ball. Stapleton after this, but Locke, a little bit of luck there, but I think Locke has played well and consistently enough to deserve it. Foul that time by O'Leary on Jennings, and Alan Taylor quickly taking the free kick for West Ham, and it's with Pat Holland. McDowell chipping it on. Look at this running by Holland as well. Oh, and a nice little pass turned inside there, and it very nearly fell for Billy Jennings at the first genuine move of the second half there. Very nearly bringing West Ham a second goal. Beautiful play right the way through. And in the end, Jennings couldn't quite get there to finish it. But a corner for West Ham. Graham Padden's going to take it. Deep one this time towards Tommy Taylor, but he nudged there. The Arsenal defender as he made his run for that cross. played for Brady. And now for Nelson. Fouling. Oh, a nice little chip there by Kidd. Fouling. McDowell. Played on for Robson. Chipped in again towards McDowell. Story did remarkably well there for Arsenal. O'Leary. Again picking up a little bit now in this second half. As it goes back again to Jimmy River. Stapleton, another free kick to West Ham. Tommy Taylor to Keith Robson. Ball getting in there. Hasn't had quite the influence on this game, Alan Ball, that he had on last week's. But there's Armstrong with the ball played through, nicely weighted there for Frank Stapleton, and now for Brian Kidd. This looks better for Arsenal. Getting a good cross in as well. And Brady, oh, and a great save! Lovely move there by Arsenal. Kidd swinging that ball in from the right, and West Ham's defence was always under pressure as it finally came out from Brady, guided it, and a brilliant save by Day. There's the cross coming in again. Oh, in fact, there was a foul there. Well, that's woken up the crowd a little bit. They've gone to sleep just a fraction with West Ham on this 1-0 lead. Well, that shows you how vulnerable a 1-0 lead can be. And of course, West Ham, if they want to keep up their challenge towards the top of the First Division, taking 2 points from every home game is absolutely imperative. So Arsenal still very much in it. Must be a free kick, yes. Just for a spell in the first half, it looked as though the game might not necessarily get out of hand, but become just a little too tough. In fact, for a derby game, it's been played in a very good humour indeed. Robson now trying to get Padden away. But Padden really has covered just about every blade on this ground. Legs for it, but he had enough to hustle Arsenal into an error and give away this corner. Alan Taylor right in there, O'Donnell right in there, and Rimmer will gather. Forcing him to kick with his left foot, at least hopefully so. We'll throw it. Could have been in trouble there. Kidd. Nelson. O'Leary. About 6 minutes to go. Really the sort of time when Arsenal have got to risk everything and push men forward all the more. Fouling. And West Ham will want to preserve this 1-goal lead, but now they're right in there now. Stapleton with a chance, and he's just wide. That really was a good chance there for Stapleton. The ball fell nicely to him on his left foot. And he was about a foot wide. We're in injury time. And there can't be very much of it. It looks as though the one controversial goal is going to be the one that decides it. Irving Day with what could be the last goal kick. Indeed it is, as the whistle goes, and West Ham have picked up 2 more precious points as they bid for that Football League Championship, having beaten Arsenal by a goal to nil. The goal scored by Alan Taylor. A disappointing second half, particularly after a rousing first half, and a full-time scoreline then at Upton Park. West Ham 1, Arsenal 0.